C2 since 2 months. Patient was relatively asymptomatic before 2 months when he was diagnosed with enteric fever and admitted to Civil Hospital Ahmedabad for acute abdominal pain and vomiting and found to have perforation peritonitis. For that, emergency exploratory laparotomy was done and stoma was created. At present, stoma is healthy and well functioning with daily output of about 500 ml semi-solid feces. History of complications. There is no complaint of abdominal pain, distension and vomiting. There is no complaint of irritation and pain at the stoma site. There is no complaint of bleeding from the edges of stoma. There is no complaint of peristomal redness, no complaint of discharge associated with fever. There is no complaint of change in color of stoma. There is no complaint of excessive thirst, dryness of mouth or reduced urine output. There is no complaint of altered stoma output or increase or decrease output. There is no complaint of protrusion or retraction of stoma on change of posture. Past history. There is no significant past history. Personal history. Patient is on mixed diet. Appetite is normal. Sleep is adequate. Bladder habits are normal. Patient is tobacco chewer since 20 years. Stoma output is 500 ml per day semi-solid stool. Patient stoma appliances. Patient is using transparent disposable one-piece stoma bag, emptying 3 times per day and changing it every 5th day. Family history. No significant family history. General examination. I have examined the patient in proper light and adequate exposure with informed consent. Patient is conscious, cooperative and well oriented to time, place and person. Patient is averagely built and fairly nourished with weight of 54 kg and height of 160 cm with BMI of 21.2. Patient is vitally stable. There is no jaundice, anemia, clubbing, cyanosis, edema or lymphadenopathy. For abdomen examination. There is midline laparotomy scar healed by secondary intention is present. Stoma present in right iliac fossa. Per abdomen is soft, non-tender, no palpable organomegaly or free fluid noted. Bowel sounds are present. So PR examination is normal. Local examination of stoma. On inspection, exteriorized loop of bowel with 2 openings is visible in right iliac fossa approximately 3 cm below and 3 cm lateral to umbilicus. It is attached with transparent stoma bag. Stoma is protruding approximately 3 cm above the skin. Semi-solid stool is coming out from the lateral opening. Mucosa is pink and healthy. Skin around the stomal opening is smooth, healthy and dry. No excoriation or redness or discharge. There is no prolapse, retraction or visible cuff impulse. Attached stoma bag is 2-piece, disposable type, transparent and properly fitted. One participant inspectory findings were confirmed. There is no local rise of temperature. There is no tenderness. Loop stoma with 2 openings in right iliac fossa noted. Mucosa is dry. No evidence of bleeding or discharge. There is no cuff impulse. Both the openings allow introduction of finger. There is no warmth and tenderness of the surrounding skin. Rest of the systemic examination is normal. From above history and examination, my probable diagnosis is temporary diverting loop ileostomy in right iliac fossa without any complications at present.
Okay, go back to history. Okay, start.
Patient was relatively asymptomatic.
No, that is okay. You have already said, no need to say it again. Right?
Yes, sir.
How many days after surgery patient was discharged? First
Okay.
surgery.
So patient was discharged after 7 days.
Have you written it?
No, sir.
What is significance of that? What is significance of that history as far as our case of stoma is concerned? Yes, you have written elaborate history, but that is not required. It will come as a short case. We will discuss that how to be ready for a short case. It will not come like this. This is okay for a discussion purpose, but you won't have a time.
So stoma is healthy and
so what is significance of 7 days discharge?
So 7 days stoma was healthy, well functioning, and there is no complications like retraction or peristomal skin irritation, ulceration, etc. and midline.
No, that is fine. That you can see, and that is what I wanted to come to that next. But what is meaning of 7 days? That if the stoma had irritation, you will not discharge after 7 days. One. Second question is, after surgery, after how many days stoma moved?
2 days.
2 days. And what was the initial discharge?
So initial discharge was, sir, bilious.
Right? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It was liquid, solid, semi-solid initially, I am talking about.
So it was liquid initially.
Right. Okay. You have go to next slide. Why this all history you have taken, negative history?
Sir, negative history of abdominal pain.
What is the positive history you should be asking? Any case you take, positive history is important. So there is no positive history, only negative history is there. In a case of stoma, what are the positive history you will ask? So about the 7 days, understand this means the patient had no persistent enteric fever and no complication related to laparotomy, which is very important. Because if patient had been kept for a longer time, stoma complication may increase more. Postoperative distension.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Postoperative distension, not functioning of stoma within 3-4 days.
Yes, sir.
Have you written that when the stoma started functioning?
No, sir.
That is another important. Yes, that's why within 2 days, that means there was no much of a intra-abdominal complication.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by no complaint of change in color of stoma? What is meaning of that?
Sir, it is significance of that is ischemia of the, sir.
So then it become normal, you want to say? Do you understand my question?
Yes, sir.
So in some cases it becomes ischemic and then it becomes normal again.
No, sir.
Don't say color, change of color. What is, and the same way. What do you mean by bleeding from age? What is meaning of that? What do you mean by that? There is no bleeding from age. What is meaning of that?
Sir, delayed bleeding is because of the granuloma formation at the ages.
So that you are going to examine. In a normal person, for 7 to 10 days, there will be bleeding from age. It is possible.
Yes, sir.
That means it should be rather mucocutaneous junction has become normal if there is no bleeding. So no need to say all this. If it is present, you have to mention it. If it is absent, it has no value. Right?
Yes,
no complaint of pain, distension and vomiting. That is the important history. Why?
Sir, obstruction, sir. Rule out obstruction.
What obstruction? Obstruction of what?
Obstruction of, sir, proximal loop, sir.
Huh? It is always obstruction of proximal loop.
Yes, sir.
No. What does it mean? Patient has been operated for laparotomy.
Sir, because of, sir, ileus, sir.
No, that is okay. Now we are talking of this part after within last 2 months. Agreed? That's why once you have said the stoma has moved on 2nd days, if it had not moved on 2nd days, then the ileus and everything. We are talking of last 2 months, right? This is a history of present illness we are talking.
Yes.
What is significance of pain, distension and vomiting? It is a proper history. It should be taken. What is meaning of that?
Sir, if there is stenosis of the
So what I want all of you to understand, stoma, if you are presenting case of stoma, it doesn't mean that complication will occur only at the stoma.
So because
My point?
Yes, sir.
It can be post-operative adhesions that should be kept. Not necessarily always stomal stenosis.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? But why this history is important? No history of you should write down colic abdominal pain, distension, vomiting, or not passing stool flatus. These are. So You, in other words, no history suggestive of intermittent obstruction. Why this history is important?
Sir, it has importance for the sake of sir closure, sir.
Closer. So what closer?
Sir,
What closer?
sir, if there is history of abdominal pain, distension, and vomiting is present, and sir stoma becomes non-functioning, then we cannot proceed with closure, sir.
So it is a closure is important in that case. But now the patient has come to you. Understand my question. Pardon, just a minute. I am not saying today there is obstruction. History, you have said no history of this.
Yes.
Today patient has come, stoma is functioning, but patient gives history of 2-3 times there was a distension with vomiting. What is significance of that? Now the patient has come to you, stoma is functioning, no distension, no vomiting.
Sir, patient has adhesions, then relaparotomy with adhesionolysis is required.
So straight away you will go for adhesion here. If patient gives history of distension and vomiting, you will do this laparotomy, right?
Sir, at the time of closure, sir.
You will do laparotomy. You want to investigate.
Sir, we will investigate with sir X-ray abdomen and sir CECD.
બધું જ બીજું કંઈ બાકી હોય તો બી બોલી જા. The point here is what I want to impress. Understand, don't generalize everything. And it is not 1 + 1 is always equal to 2. There is no black and white. So if there is a patient gives history, you will go by laparotomy always.
No, sir.
So in that case, sir, I would investigate for proximal cause of obstruction. You understand? સાહેબ ના આવડે છે. Okay, sir. બરોબર છે. તમને આવડે છે. Second, any other reason why it is important to know this? So don't say that if there is a adhesion, if you suspect that, you always go by laparotomy like that.
No, sir.
Anyway, the point here is that there are so many factors which are associated if patient has an intermittent problem. The initial question, why it is important to know that patient was discharged in 7 days. If patient had taken longer time to discharge after enteric perforation, chances of intra-abdominal residual abscess, intra-abdominal adhesion is much, much more increased. So if patient gives repeated history of this, I would like to investigate patient for ruling out the intra-abdominal collection which still might be there. So preferably first thing you should say is USG.
Yes, sir.
X-ray and a CT badge વસ્તુ આવે છે?
No, sir. Yes.
It is a CECT with a X-ray will not tell you anything. I am telling you at present patient doesn't have a complaint. So X-ray will not show you anything. What is important? And remember, obstruction is not important. More important is residual abscess, which is very, very common in case of enteric perforation. So it is very important if patient gives this history. Similarly, where have you taken a history of fever? So anything, remember, stoma is a part of laparotomy. You should be concentrating on a laparotomy history.
Yes, sir.
So what are the complications of laparotomy which can reflect upon stoma? I understand nobody is going to ask this much detail, but for a discussion point of view, fever is an important history you should ask. If patient is having very good stoma, but history of fever and on and off, with chills, without chills, again, that is the one more point you should keep in mind, because it is only 2 months. If it would have been a 6 month of 1 year, your history will be different. When patient has come for a stoma closure after 2 months, you should ask that if there is a residual disease or not. But no purpose of irritation and pain. You want to say patient doesn't have a pain at the stoma side? Patient doesn't have a irritation? This patient? Any stoma patient will have some kind of irritation and some kind of pain. So that is a wrong history. Don't ask pain and irritation. Don't ask bleeding from age. What is my peristomal redness?
Sir, to rule out the skin-related complications because of.
No, what is redness? ઉત્સાહમાં ના આવી જા, મારું વાત પૂરી સાંભળ. બરોબર? What do you mean by redness?
Sir, redness is the sign of inflammation, sir.
So you want to see inflammation here? Redness means? Why you written no peristomal redness?
Sir, skin excoriation and ulceration.
Sorry. તું જેટલું બોલીને ઊભો રહી જા, ચાલુ ના રહે.
Okay, sir.
બરોબર? You know more than me, I understand it, but ઊભો રહે તું ભાઈ. So yours should be, where is the word excoriation? Don't use word redness. Use the word excoriation.
Yes, sir.
Redness is a very vague term. It is not necessary inflammation. What is excoriation? What is excoriation? Yourself, you have not written excoriation, which is more important. Will patient complain of excoriation or not?
No, sir. Patient will complain of, sir, itching, sir.
Itching. Irritation is not a proper word. No evidence of peristomal bleeding, itching, or excoriation. Excoriation is loss of epidermis. Epidermis, not dermis. Loss of epidermis is an excoriation. What is the cause of excoriation?
So because of, sir, spillage of ileostomy effluent, sir. Due to bilious content, sir.
It is a bile which causes excoriation. Yes. You are saying patient is having semi-solid, and by the end of 2 months it will be semi-solid. What does the excoriation suggest? You are right. But at the end of, if excoriation is there, what is meaning of that from consultant point of view? It means the stoma apparatus patient is using is not proper.
Not proper.
Everybody knows that it is because of the content that will be causing the excoriation, obviously. But why some patient will have it and some patient will not have it? Because of the improper care, and the commonest cause is stoma apparatus is not proper. That should be sir, if the patient is complaining of excoriation, I would look into the stoma. Nowadays, because of the good stoma care, it is rare, but you should remember that, right? Yes. Redness, you are not wrong, but if it is present, then only mention it. Excoriation, patient may not be get, and redness without fever or any throbbing pain is very unlikely. So don't mention redness. More important is excoriation. Discharge, what is discharge? From where does the discharge you want to see?
Sir, it can be because of, sir, intra-abdominal abscess.
No. Understand the question. From discharge from where? You have written discharge with fever. From discharge from where?
Discharge from, sir, peristomal areas.
Not the midline laparotomy.
No, sir.
Why not? It is not part of patient. Remember, actually discharge is more important from main wound. Why? Again, the same thing I was talking about. So why am I pulling your leg is because do not separate stoma from abdomen. You have very well written that abdominal examination after stoma, but don't forget the midline wound. It has not healed completely.
Yes.
So I can understand the stoma discharge may be from main wound. If there is a purulent discharge from main wound, so you should say no discharge from peristomal or main laparotomy wound. Both are important. Fever, yes. Don't mention. If it is present, fine, but don't confuse it with discharge. How many times patient will have purulent discharge and fever after 2 months? No, fever is rare compared to that, right? But what does it suggest? If there is a fever and discharge. So remember, in some conditions, there can be a purulent discharge without fever, and sometimes there can be purulent discharge with fever. Usually it is commoner with the main laparotomy wound, not from the stomals.
Yes, sir.
So what is significance of this, what I am talking about?
Sir, there is residual, sir, collection infected.
Very good. If patient has a fever, it means it is intra-abdominal collection with discharge, or simple pus discharge without fever or anything. It is mainly wound complication.
Yes, sir.
This is the common way. Same way, peristomal discharge doesn't mean that patient has an intra-abdominal collection. And it is very difficult to assess that. So, but understand, discharge from main wound is also important in stoma patient, because it will, you have to delay the closure in that circumstances. So it is important, right? Don't mention a color of stoma. But one thing you should mention, don't mention excessive throat. This, what is the, how will you define excessive? These are all, I understand why you have asked, but not required.
Yes, sir.
You admitted the patient for stoma closure.
Yes, sir.
Was patient admitted in between?
No, sir.
No. Did patient have a pain, distension, vomiting?
No, sir.
No. Then why there should he have a reduced urine output? No. Don't mention it. These are the history. If they are present, it is important. Otherwise, it has no value. Right? No complaint of altered stoma output. What is meaning of that? It includes along with that
Sir,
distension and
sir, to rule out, sir, ileostomy diarrhea, sir. What is it?
take it together. So what is difference? If you say decrease output, it is a part of abdominal pain and distension. If you say increase output, what is meaning of that?
Sir, ileostomy diarrhea, sir.
Very good. So it should not be taken together.
Yes.
Decrease or stoppage suggests a partial obstruction. As you say, stoma stenosis, this, that. So it is a part of important history with subacute obstruction.
Yes, sir.
The cause may be, the stoppage of stoma may not be because of the stomal stenosis itself. It may be proximal obstruction. So it is to be taken stoppage of stoma like that in between in last two. Increase suggests diarrhea, right? That should be taken separately. One thing is edema. Have you mentioned anything about edema?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sorry.
So from the day the stoma is created, it is same size.
No, sir. Edema, sir, occurs in first 20.
No, but in this patient, we are talking of this patient. I am not asking you theory now. You understand my question?
Yes, sir. And, sir,
So
and-
when you take a history, you should ask this thing to the patient also. You cannot say that. You can only say about the present size, but actually the initial size may be very large.
yes, sir.
It is quite possible. So always say that stoma was edematous initially to start with and now has been stabilized. It is an important point. So what are the causes of stomal edema?
So due to, sir, inflammation and initially.
What inflammation? What inflammation? Don't spread our. What is inflammation? So stomal edema is due to inflammation. You know what is inflammation?
Yes.
What inflammation causes edema of stoma? No, you say that you said word inflammation. What is inflammation?
Sir, at that,
Inflammation, where the inflammation will occur. In this case, if at all there is inflammation.
at the time of stoma creation, sir, there will be changes. There will be physiological changes occurs at the stoma side. It can lead to, sir, edema.
At the stoma site, at the junction of skin and the mucosa.
Mucosa.
But why there is a stomal edema? Usual cause of stomal edema. What is the cause of stomal edema? This is a commonly asked question. Even in, you can see this in your case also, there is a some kind of residual edema is still there.
Sir,
You are not describe it, but there is a definitely some kind of edema is there.
sir, because of,
Because you can see there is a intestinal rugosity is not very well visualized. Thickened skin or mucosa is seen. So there is a stomal edema. So you want to say still there is inflammation?
Sir, because of, sir, constriction at the seat, sir, at the level
You
of,
should say because of the hampering of venous return.
yes, sir.
This is a very common condition. One. Second, as such, the intestine which you have brought out may be diseased because of entering. So some inherent edema of mucosa is bound to occur. Third, manipulation of the intestine at the time of creating a stoma also leads to edema. So it is because of basic reason is venous return, or you can call venous engorgement, that causes the stomal edema. What is significance of that? So you should be asking, there was a stomal edema at the time of creating, then it gradually decreased and reached up to present size. Or there was no stomal edema from day one. So what is significance of that?
Sir, sir, stomal edema can be, there is difficulty in applying stoma appliances, sir.
No, that is fine. Nowadays, we can also apply our whole fecal fistula, stoma manager. What is important? Remember, if there is this is not for today, but when there is excessive stoma edema, venous engorgement can lead to arterial obstruction also. So if there is a ischemia kehvay, sorry, મને આવડતું નહોતું.
Sorry.
Don't speak like that. This will create a bad impression. I don't mind. You want to show your knowledge, that is fine. But don't interrupt if examiner is speaking. You understand? That is a very important point. Be patient. I know you are knowing more than me, no doubt about it. I certify it. But do not interrupt me in between. You could have said pre-initial ischemia. Why you didn't say at that time? And when I give an answer, you are yes, sir, you know it. Why you didn't say any ischemia first? Why you didn't say ischemia first? Sir, this is also part of your training. Don't try to show that I knew it, but I didn't want. What I understand from that, you knew it, but you didn't want to tell me. Tamna avdi jai to. You could have said initial ischemia. Once I am explaining, you are saying yes, ischemia. What does it mean? You know better than me, obviously.
No, sir.
That is not the way to present a case. A gapsap nahi karta apne samsame. At least hear me out, then speak in between. As if you are corroborated. Yes, sir, you know what is ischemia. Why you didn't answer me initially if you are knowing there is a ischemia? Learn some discipline of presenting a case. This is not the way to present. Do not interrupt examiner in between. Trying to show off that, yes, I know it, but I did not want to tell you. This is what I understand. I may be wrong, but don't say in between. It looks like, sahib, tamna avde છે, મને એવું લાગે છે. It's not the way to speak in between. It's a very improper method. So, okay, explain me, what is ischemia? What is ischemia? You said ischemia. What is ischemia? What is ischemia? You said ischemia. Why ischemia develops here?
Sir, hampering of vascular supply.
So that's what I was saying. But you said ischemia. So explain me, what is difference? What is difference? There is a difference. Remember, the causes of edema, the commonest causes you have said is narrow stoma creation. Second, in a muscular patient, there can be muscular strength. When the stoma was created, it may be looked adequate in a presence of anesthesia because muscle will be relaxed in position. Post-operatively, once the tone is again gained after extubation, the stoma may look very small. And the contraction of strong muscular contraction will cause the venous hampering. So edema, I would consider, is one of the most important factor you should ask the patient. And if there is edema, what it can lead to? If edema persistent, there is no ischemia, what will happen? Why it is important to know about edema? What will happen if you do not treat the edema?
Sir, there will be, sir, stenosis and fecal infection.
Yes, very good. How will it lead to stenosis? So it is a situation, if you see edema, you should always suspect that the stomal opening in the sheath is inadequate, which can lead to stenosis or even necrosis. So if you see edema which persists for more than 48 hours, you should re-examine, do the finger examination, and if required, enlarge the size. So edema is a very important point, right? What is protrusion and retraction? How the patient will complain of that, protrusion and retraction? So it was going inside and coming back again on its own.
Sir,
The word you should be using, there is no history of prolapse. That is the one thing. Retraction, once it has gone, it has gone. So history of retraction, you can ask if your stoma is retracted. The stoma you are presenting, if it is retracted, you should say when it was brought out, it was normal, but before 15 days or before 1 month or immediately after surgery, stoma retracted. It is not like protrusion or retraction is not a history, casual history. Protrusion is not a proper word. Word is a prolapse. There is nothing like protrusion. It's a prolapse. So what is prolapse? What is prolapse of stoma?
Keep answer immediately.
sir, when the loop of the bowel is excessively protruded out from the skin,
From the skin,
above the skin level, sir.
above the skin level. Your stoma
Normally,
is
how
above the
much
skin.
centimeter prolapse
3
and protruded outside the skin?
3 to 4 centimeters.
I think your stoma is 3 to 4 centimeters. So it is prolapse. Show your photograph. It is even 4 centimeters. So it is a prolapse. So the protrusion is a wrong word. Protrusion is a normal thing. We are talking of prolapse. What is prolapse? You know what a prolapse of stoma? How many types of prolapse can there be?
I don't know, sir.
No, in rectum, forget about this.
Any prolapse.
Sir, partial and full thickness.
Very good. Excellent. That's what the answer is. Why are you thinking? The problem is you are thinking too much. Don't think too much. Relax. It's a very simple thing. You know it, you know it. So there can be a partial prolapse or complete prolapse. Partial prolapse, or you call it mucosal prolapse, which is very common in all stoma. And it is not significant. As the madam says, how much centimeter it is more than it is important. Prolapse.
So more than, sir, 5 centimeters.
Yes, agreed. Or when it is a full thickness. When it becomes a full thickness wall which comes out and it can reach up to 15-20 centimeters. So prolapse is important history. Here again, protrusion has no value. It's a prolapse which is important. Why you need to ask history of prolapse? Because sometimes it resolves on its own. If it is a small in amount, it may retract on its own. And when you are seeing yes, it will be reduced. and it will come on only when the patient has a stoma becomes functional. So yes, okay. So don't ask too much of history. Usually nobody is going to ask this all history. We have
Because
taken
this is
just
a
to-
short case. This is a
Yes.
short case and you should not speak all these things in short case.
And no need to go much. Most important is whether there is obstruction or not. There is edema or not. Obstruction include everything: vomiting, stomal output stopped or not, and edema. These two are a most important thing you should ask. Further, come on, Agar. Family history usually comes before personal history, as far as I know. And why you have taken this in, go back. Why you have taken stoma in a personal history? Huh? What is ODP? History of present illness. What is present illness you are presenting? Stoma. So stoma output, stoma bag, everything comes history of present illness. Apart from no other significant positive history, approximately output is 500 ml, you have said. And patient is using which type of stoma bag patient is using?
Sir, disposable transparent one-piece stoma bag.
One peanut, right? And that is changed every 5th day.
Yes, sir.
So it is a sticking or free, with belt, without belt?
Sir, without belt, sir.
Without belt. So it is a single piece or 2 piece?
Single piece, sir.
And it lasts for 5 days. That is good. Is it possible? You have read about the stoma appliances?
Yes, sir.
So what is used in single piece stoma appliance? Normally stick-on type you call it, right? A variant of Karaya gum, and it usually stick for a 24 hours at the most. If the stoma bag is going to be there for 5 days, usually it is with 2 piece. One is a flange. Along with that, bag is changed every 2-3 every day or 2 times a day, or emptied it. So usually it is 2 piece. What is that? How do you fix it? What is flange?
Sir, flange is the, sir, skin barrier, sir.
Not skin barrier only. You can call it, it's a patient piece, which is on the patient, and bag is applied fixed on it. The flange is fixed by various methods. One method is what you said,
No.
Karaya gum or similar condition. It has a barrier, right? But also it can be fixed with the help of belt, simple belt, single belt or double belt, depends upon that. It is very cheap, but it is likely to cause the skin excoriation and the point. Do you understand? We'll not go in detail of that. Go to now examine, local examination. So include this one in your ODP, not in personal history. Okay, great. So from your examination or inspection, what is it? Is it a colostomy, ileostomy, or jejunostomy?
Sir, ileostomy, sir.
Why do you say it is ileostomy?
Sir, there are, sir, it is located in right iliac fossa and
Very good. Agreed. First is always say the location. It is extremely unlikely that you will find colostomy here. Before saying anything else, location is very important. Good. Then,
some mucosal folds are present, sir.
okay. Anything else?
Sir, output is, sir, semi-solid, sir.
Color
Very
of the
good.
mucosa. Color of mucosa. After that comes color of mucosa.
Color of mucosa is, sir, pink.
And in colostomy?
In colostomy, you will say it is a pale color, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What else?
Next, size. Size is also important. If it is a smaller, then it is a ileostomy, and if it is larger, then it is a colostomy. Okay.
Anything else?
Stoma is, sir, pouted above the skin level.
Okay. Mucosal fold is also suggestive, and that anything else? History. What history is important? Why history is important?
So there is, sir, history of, sir, enteric fever in this patient.
Exactly. So a history of previous surgery can also define probably what is done. From history, you can say patient was operated for enteric perforation. Don't say enteric fever. Patient was operated for enteric perforation, so most likely to be ileostomy. It is a disease of small bowel. But in the same patient, it gives history of obstruction or large bowel of similarly point that it can be. Right? So is it a ideal stomy? As far as the first part, location is concerned, is it ideal? You mentioned, how do you mention the site of stomy?
Show the other picture where the whole abdomen is seen.
So how do you decide the ideal site of it? એક મિનિટ પૂર્વ આવું જરા જોતો તો ચાલુ રાખજે મારે.
Ah, sir. Can you zoom in the picture? No, no, fill with picture. Huh? The thing is, keep that picture.
Yes, sir.
Now, sir's question was, is this ideal?
No, sir, it is somewhat, sir, laterally located, sir.
Yes. So, what are the points that you should look about when you do a stoma?
Sir, if in emergency condition the stoma is created, then it should be located in stoma triangle, sir.
So, in plan anywhere?
Sorry, sir.
The point is that whenever you have to see, the point is whenever that is why we are telling one is an ideal stoma, other is a stoma. See, stomas are not bad, but then it is the condition in which the patient is. So whether it is an emergency or planned, the first idea is to make an ideal stoma. So whenever you are talking about an ideal stoma, again we talk about that stoma triangle. What last time Kaustubh said, what was that?
Sir, stoma triangle is formed by imaginary lining joining the umbilicus, pubic symphysis, and ASIS, sir.
Yes. So the idea, what is the idea? What is the idea of creating such a stoma? Why do we have such triangle?
Sir,
Why it is ideal to have that thing?
Sir, stoma should be located, sir, away from the skin folds and bony prominences, sir, and lateral 1/3 of, sir, rectus muscle.
So basically, it is two things very important. What you said, one is away from the skin fold, and it should not hop onto any bony prominences.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then comes what you said is that if the patient is obese or something, you have to take that part into, and part of it is the rectus muscle so that you fix it well and the chance of herniation or prolapse are less. Okay. So that
In
is one
which
point.
condition?
Huh, ma'am,
So in
sorry.
which condition ideal stoma is not possible?
If the
Apurva, continue. Then I will ask.
ma'am,
No, no, madam, barabar છે. તમારો question બરાબર છે.
Oh.
ma'am,
So
if-
normally we always expect that there should be ideal stoma, but in which condition ideal stoma is not possible?
ma'am, if the patient is very obese, ma'am, then stoma should be shifted upwards because stoma is not visible. Stoma should be visible to the patient, ma'am.
So one is obesity. Any other condition? Obesity is fine. That is the patient factor. Any other disease factor?
Ma'am, sir, if there is short mesentery, sir, and mobilization of
So when do
bowel,
you get, yeah, yes, correct. So, but when do you get short mesentery?
if stoma is created for ileal stricture secondary to cox abdomen.
Yes.
So ileal
right.
stricture occurs into the ileum. Ileal stricture occurs into the ileum. Why should there be a shortened mesentery? It is a disease
What
of ileum. There is nothing to do with the mesentery. You have said that patient who is having ileal stricture, you are doing resection and doing stoma. So mesentery is not affected. It is a hypertrophied tuberculosis, which gives rise to development of this stricture.
In case of mesenteric ischemia, then if the
No, there is no mesenteric ischemia in tuberculosis. In mesenteric ischemia also, mesentery is not affected.
The question is very simple. When the mesentery becomes short, forget about intestine. When the mesentery will become short,
if a very long segment of bowel is resected.
then there will be no, I don't think so. Think of some disease where mesentery becomes shorter. The commonest condition is a resurgery. Patient is already operated, and in a second surgery, you are going to do stoma, which is a very common occurrence. Suppose there is enteric perforation, you have done a primary suturing and left it like that, then you have to reopen. In that case, you will create a stoma. Here, the mesentery will be very short. Apurva, I think that's what you are asking.
Madam, no question.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah. Same thing.
Hmm.
So mesentery will, why the mesentery is shortened?
That is the commonest reason for shortening. Whether you operate for stricture, primary surgery, usually if you do stoma, it will not be short. Unless there is some astrology, those diseases are very rare, particularly if it is some unusual condition like a metastasis deposition is that patient is having a cold abscess in that. That's a very rare. The common cause is a second surgery. So the moral of story is that when you are doing a primary stoma, it should be near ideal. But when it's a resurgery, answer is that stoma may need to be done anywhere. So why there should be ideal stoma?
Deep.
Yes, sir.
Full. Gap थी क्यों तू?
Sir,
Yeah, why you need ideal stoma? That should be the answer. Site, we are talking of site.
sir, ideal stoma is needed for proper stoma care, sir.
Very good, not for a proper stoma appliance. So why would define the ideal stoma?
Ideal stoma is located away from the bony prominences,
Very good.
scar or skin folds, and away from the umbilicus. Ideal stoma should be visible to the patient, sir, and comfortable to the patient, sir.
So it is
Also,
always
it should not be nearer to the main wound.
Hmm.
It should not be too much nearer to the main wound or laparotomy wound.
Another important point is it should not hinder by a apron of fat, which is very common. So the site of ileostoma is variable patient to patient. You understand? If patient is thin lean, you can put ideal. If patient is fatty, you go towards umbilicus. You understand? If patient is short, your stoma will be at the different side. So it is not like that you put it between umbilicus and that. Depends upon the patient, you can put a stoma. Ideal stoma should be away from the main wound, away from the any bony prominence, should be visible to patient and easy to take care. And there should be a space for applying the stoma appliance. Right? That is the one. What are the other features of ideal stoma?
Some mucosa should be, sir, pink.
Then
Stoma should be healthy and well functioning, and there is no peristomal skin excoriation, ulceration, or
Deep, the more important point should be said first. One is a site. Second, site or location, what you call. Second, size. Always remember it like this. What is significance of size? That also include edema. it also include retraction, it also include prolapse, and it also include amount of intestine brought out.
So in case of ileostomy, stoma should be pouted 3 to 4 centimeter above the skin level, and colostomy should be flush to the skin.
Should be nahi, can be. Should be jaruri nathi. A bhi pouting thati ho, there is nothing wrong. The important is ileostomy should be pouted. Colostomy may or may not be. That's a different thing. It is not must that it should be flush. If it is pouted, it is wrong. No. Yes. What else?
There is no parastomal hernia or peristomal skin.
No, we are talking, we have said about site size. Then comes the skin. You understand? In an order you should go. So the skin, it should be normal in surrounding skin, and there should not be ulceration, granulation in between. પૂર્વક ચાલુ રાખજે ને, ફોન આવેલો છે.
Deep, continue.
There is no peristomal skin excoriation or ulceration or mucocutaneous separation. Stoma should be healthy and well functioning with output of 500 to 700 ml per day, and stoma appliances should be properly attached, and there is no spillage of the stomal contents.
PR examination, where do you want to speak PR examination just now?
Ma'am, to assess the anal tone at the time of closure, ma'am. To rule
No,
out
but whenever
incontinence.
you are describing examination of the stoma, so your examination of the stoma is over after saying all this much thing. See, whatever you have written in per abdominal examination, you have to what just now described, that's from the site size, peristomal condition, what is the output, color of output, thickness of the content, or patient is passing normal bowel output, or it contains undissolved food particles. That is also sometimes important. So you have to say everything about the stoma. Then comes the abdominal examination, right? Inspection and palpation, everything about the stoma should be completed, not only the inspection. And after that, abdominal examination comes, right?
Actually, ma'am, I don't know. I think he has not seen the reply of his email. Per abdomen examiner, complete it and then go for local examination of stoma.
Whenever you are saying per abdominal, then you will not speak about, say about the stoma present in the right iliac. That is totally different thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Nah.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
See him. I was just checking if I am on or not. Internet has gone. Okay. Chalo, madam, biju
This is okay. But after inspection, there will be assessment of the
Palpate.
stoma by passing the finger through the stoma, that there is no stenosis, stomal stenosis.
Ah,
That-
yes,
okay.
I understood. I
Okay.
remember.
એને ક્યાંક લખેલું છે,
Yes.
મેં જોયેલું છે.
Achha.
I
He has
returned.
written it, I know it. Yes.
Okay.
એણે history તો બહુ જ લીધી છે, બહુ જ history લીધી છે.
Mm.
Okay. What is mucosa is dry? You have written, I am
Deep
not saying.
respond. Deep respond.
Yes, sir.
ના ના પાછળ respond માં કાઢી નાખી slide.
Because there is no dry, no evidence of bleeding and discharge. What do you mean by that?
Don't take it seriously. This is your learning part. The theory knowledge is a totally different thing. How you present practically is very important. That's why I would tell all of you should present a case. You will know you are making very elementary mistakes. Examiners are also human beings. They get irritated sometimes. So
Because when you write down this much good stoma is there and you are writing mucosa is dry, no evidence of bleeding. So where is mucosa dry? First tell me. This is a very
Mucosa-
good stoma.
Mucosa can never be dry.
Mm.
You understand? Mucosa can never be dry. Ideally, you should be saying mucosa is normal. It does not bleed on touch or no bleeding. That is all right, but it is normal. Both fingers allowed, no stenosis.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, one more thing you should also say, what is the direction of your finger going inside?
Sir,
Deep.
sir, in proximal loop, sir, upwards and laterally, sir.
Why it is important to know the direction? When you see this, madam has very clearly said, it's very important point. I agree. You should always, Apurva also said, you should always examine by finger. It is a must. In PG, it is must. If patient is not allowed or you are told that don't do, then you should also say in your history, sir, I would have liked to do that, but I am said not to be done. It's an important point. Do you understand? If you are not allowed, it is possible because the same case will be come to 5-10 people. But your part should be completed. Sir, I would like to do this, right? So, okay, why it is important to know the direction?
So direction of proximal loop is important to collect it should be in the dependable position to collect the contents in the stomach.
Dependable, nahi, dependent. There is a difference between dependent word is depend. Yes, very good. Dependent position. Dependable, nahi. Yes.
To allow the contents to fall out freely in the stoma bag and so that there is no spillage and there is no peristomal skin irritation.
Very good. Excellent. I absolutely agree with you. In that context, is it ideal stoma?
No, sir.
Yes. That should be the very clear answer because the upper one is causing is proximal. Do you understand? So that's why it is very important. What other importance of finger examination direction?
To rule out stomal stenosis.
એ તો થઈ ગઈ વાત. That is a very common. Anything else? Agreed. There is a one more thing which is very common and very commonly occurring in a loop stoma is twisting of stoma. It's a very common problem. It's not an unknown problem. In this patient, it is possible. You understand? If you put your finger and it goes down, you put this finger, it goes up. That means they are crossing. So it is a possibility there can be mesenteric twist. When the stoma is functioning well, doesn't need anything to be done. Then what is significance of that? What is significance of that? If you find that possibly there might be a twist like in this case. It's common, not uncommon condition. Madam will also vouch for that same. It's a very common condition. It is so common. I have seen the patient in a pediatric at the site of transverse colon, sigmoid colon is brought out. It is that kind of, it can happen. So when you do the closure of stomy, You have to be careful if you are suspecting the twist. Always keep this thing in mind. Right?
Whenever you are dismantling this stoma, you have to separate the adhesions which is formed at the mesentery level. When it is twisting, then there may be adhesion. So you have to separate it, make it straight, and then you have to close it. Right? If you are doing resection, then it's not a problem. But if you are not doing resection, then it requires proper seeing of the mesentery of the patient.
Otherwise, patient will end up with a post-op stenosis of the closer side. So
And that is the cause of leakage, post-operative leakage. Okay.
Right. So now diagnosis is never a doubt in a stoma. Apart from from the site you can see. I have 1 or 2 questions. What do you think? What is the common incision put for a loop ileostoma?
So disc-shaped incision in right iliac fossa.
That is the problem with all of us. When you do loop stomy, it is a temporary stomy. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So why you need to do disc-shaped incision? Why you need a disc-shaped incision? Never. Never ever. It is always a straight incision. There are 2 types of incision done for ileostomy. What are those 2? One is an oblique appendix-like incision on a right iliac fossa, but not based on a McBurney's point. It will be more medial, usually midway between spino-umbilical line, not over 2/3, 1/3. You understand? That is the one. Second incision is usually put a transverse incision. Some surgeon prefers transverse incision like me. I always like to put a transverse incision, but that's all right. What important point when you put an incision? Never put a skin sacrificing incision in a loop stomy. Though why do we put a disc-shaped incision in end stomy?
Sir,
You said disc shape. Why do we put a disc shape in?
Sir, in end stoma, sir, stoma should be fixed to the sheath, sir.
We are not talking of sheath. We are talking of skin incision. Sheath has not come in a picture now.
Sir, for freely mobilization of the bowel loops and adequate pouting, sir.
But why in the end, not in a loop? I am saying in loop, we never put a disc incision. Never ever, neither even elliptical.
Because in sir loop stoma, sir, we plan for closure, and end stoma is, sir, permanent stoma.
આપણે એમાં બી ખાલી સ્કિન ઇન્સિઝન નાનો મૂકીને કરી શકાય કે
હા એ તો મેં જોયું વિડિયો ખાતો બી તો.
What happens after 1 year of stoma? Once you have done, what happens? How does healing occur?
That's a very important question asked. Huh? You should understand. You are right in end stoma. So remember, the loop stomy we usually close within 6 months. So there is no enough time for a fibrosis and contraction of the skin is occurring. And you are going to put it inside. So even if there is a formation of skin stricture or a neck contracture, you are going to tackle it. And stomy is for a lifetime. For first 6 months or like it should be all right, but a long-term skin contracture may cause the stenosis of stoma. So we always put a disc incision in permanent stomy, not in a loop stomy. So that is a skin incision. What about the sheath now?
Sir, crusade-shaped incision.
We are talking of loop. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Right? Oblique or transverse incision. Then what will you do to the sheath? Again, beta, same principle. In a loop, there is no need to put a cruciate incision. It is for an end, you put again the same principle, nothing Basically, there is no difference. Sheath also is cut in the line of skin, right up to peritoneum, and you bring out it. There is no need for that. Whereas when you are doing the endostomy, you put a cruciate incision. Anything else you will see that when you are putting the incision? What else you will look for when you are doing loopstomy? You put a larger incision in loopstomy rather than end, because short-term complication of large incision can be tackled when you close the stoma, which cannot be tackled in endostomy because it is going to be there for a lifetime. You understand? So you always take a stitch in a sheath in case of endostomy, very rarely in case of loopstomy. In loopstomy, even if you put a larger incision, it doesn't matter. What will happen? If you put a small incision, patient will have a stomal stenosis. In a short term, it is not acceptable. So you err on the side of higher side, means put a large incision. It's a totally reverse in endostomy, because the long-term complication of a large sheath incision is parastomal hernia, which is not acceptable. You understand? And a prolapse. Where in the short term, even if there is a parastomal hernia, even if there is a prolapse, it is going to be tackled when you close the stomy. But we are doing stomy usually for a diversion, so there should not be immediate complication in form of stenosis or a edema or a obstruction. That's why always a large incision in loop was very small incision in end. Anyway, you are bringing only one loop, here you are bringing two loop. Do you understand? Right? So what is a loopstomy? Here it is a loopstomy. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Right. In which other type of stomy you will find two opening?
Sir, double barrel stomy.
Double barrel stomy. What is double barrel stomy?
Sir, when the part of the bowel is resected and proximal and distal loops are brought out through the same stomal opening, then like the double barrel of the gun, then it is called as double barrel stomy.
Mm-hmm. So that is the right. What is pole miculis?
Sir, in tumors of the sigmoid colon or the sigmoid volvulus, the part of the large bowel is resected out, and the two proximal and distal loops are brought out through the same stomal opening, and anti-mesenteric side of the both the loops are sutured, sir.
Right? It is externalization of a growth with two ends close together. Anti-mesenteric, more than 4 or 5 stitches. It is not done anymore. Right? Okay. So do you agree that this is a looped ileostomy? Right?
Yes, sir.
Agreed. We agree to it. Now, what is your advice to the patient? What will you do?
Sir,
Right? Because I agree with your diagnosis. From here your viva will start. અત્યાર સુધીનું બધું ખાલી વાતો કરી આપણે. As soon as the examiner will ask you, what is your diagnosis? Sir, it is a loop ileostomy following enteric perforation. Right? So now, what will you do?
Sir, I will explain the patient about the stomach and sir, diet and
Patient, you have already said, મારી વાત સાંભળતું બેટા, you have already said that patient have come for a stoma closure. So હવે શું advice આપવાની? That you should have advised at the time. I am not asking that. What advice you will get when you discharge the patient before 2 months? Now the diagnosis is clear, patient has come to you. So if such thing happens, patient is, your history is 2 months. Now what advice you give stoma care?
sir,
What? This is the case now. What will you do?
sir, I would like to further proceed with sir stoma closure, plan for stoma closure.
Okay, how will you
Directly
proceed?
will you go for stomach closure?
एज पूछा था साहब बेटा. That is
वो
what
एज
he is
पूछू
asking.
छू.
Before doing the stomach closure, which investigation is advised?
Sir, distal lupogram.
Yes. So that is the answer.
Sir, I
Right?
would,
Yes, बोल.
sir, I would like to do distal lupogram for ruling out the stricture or any distal pathology like growth or tumor or any fistula.
અહીંયા for what condition in this patient stoma is done?
Sir, for enteric perforation.
So where is the question of growth and this and that?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Yes or no? But you have to do distal lupogram. But why? Not for a growth. Remember, there is no general answer. It depends upon the case. When you have a diversion colostomy, ileostomy, why this ileostomy is done? Answer me that.
Sir, for enteric perforation and sir, surrounding bowel was not.
You understand my question?
Yes, sir.
Why this ileostomy was done?
Sir,
It's a logical question.
Sir, there was single 1.5 by 1.5 centimeter perforation.
Arre, beta. I am not interested in that. You do not understand my question. Why ileostomy is done in an enteric perforation? I am not asking you enteric perforation because there are various treatment. You can do primary closure.
Yes, sir. But
So
sir,
why ileostomy was done? So
Sir.
was it done for a diversion? That is the question I am asking you. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
No. Why diversion?
Sir, there was sir single perforation only 5 centimeter from IC junction. Sir,
Very
so-
good.
Deep.
Why? Yes.
Sir, what do you mean by diversion?
Diversion means the diverting the contents contents away from the pathology, sir.
Very good. Okay. Right. So it was done for a diversion. So why you will do distal lupogram?
To know the
In this case,
distal pathology is
you know the pathology. Why are you saying non-specific answer? That's what the most of the students are doing. You yourself, as a patient, has been operated for enteric perforation. There was a perforation which was distal to ileostomy, obviously. So why will you like to do lupogram?
So perforation is healed or not to check for the by.
So the
by checking-
answer is very simple. Answer is very simple. To see the distal patency and there is no leak.
No leak.
Right? Suppose a history is given that there was only one perforation which was brought out. What we call externalization, not the diversion. That's the actually word I wanted, externalization or diversion. So perforation was brought out. Is there a need to do distal lupogram? Another way, sometimes we resect the tumor part and bring out both hand, as you say, double barrel. Is there a need for doing a distal lupogram? There is no anastomosis inside.
Sir, to rule out sir divergent colitis.
Okay, one part. The better word is still the patency is very important. The point is that when it is not used for a longer time, what will happen? Loop ileostomy is not completely diversion. It's always partial diversion. Some amount of stool is bound to go into the distal loop. So there will be collection inside and formation of fecalith, which may act as a partial obstruction, even though there is no pathology inside. In this patient, there is a pathology inside, you need to do it, right? So straight away you will go for this lupogram. Or would you like to do anything else?
Sir, straight away, sir, I would go for Lupogram.
Then,
Apurva, I think you speak. I have spoken a lot of things.
So the thing is, had you given any distal wash at the time of surgery?
No, sir.
So what about the fecal material that was beyond that? You get the point?
Yes, sir.
So before going for a lupogram, we should always go for distal wash.
Yes, sir.
You need a pit. Yeah, see, even if the fecal material is out, there is a lot of secretions coming from the large bowel, correct? Which may have dried up, which may be there, which may be plugging, mucosal plugging and all those things. So for that, you need a distal wash. A proper distal wash is required. And once you have given proper distal wash, you can do a lupogram. Okay.
So that's what actually we wanted as an answer. Sir, I would like to give a distal wash. Ideally, when you should start distal wash? સુઈ જાય છે વચ્ચે વચ્ચે.
I don't know, sir.
No, but why distal wash is given pre-operatively or post-operatively? Immediate post-operatively, after some time, when will you give distal wash?
Ma'am. After, ma'am.
Madam is talking about first surgery. Madam is talking about first surgery, not disclosure. Huh? Just to be sure. नहीं तो तू ऊंधू समझीस पाछो.
Distal wash is.
I am not talking about just before closure.
Yes. So when will you start distal wash? Madam has given you hint. Immediate post-op, 7 day, 10 day, 15 day.
Ma'am, post-operatively after 2 weeks.
So you will discharge the patient and call him back, him or her back.
Sir, at the time of laparotomy suture removal, sir.
So what problem is here, you understand? The most of the time short case are to assess your ward proficiency. Understand this point. Most of the short cases are for that. Stoma, jejunostomy, ICD. Those are the cases comes as a short or spot case. Their examiner will judge, have you really treated the patient day in and day out over the period of 3 years? So the speak what you are doing in your residency. Don't go by books. Books can say 1 day, 2 day, 5 day. What you were doing, you should tell. That is my hint to all the residents. And there can be more than one right answer. So what you do when in your ward?
Sir, we are doing it pre-operatively, sir. Before stoma closures.
How many days?
Before 1 week, sir.
So that say that what is wrong in it? So depends upon, again, I will tell you, depends upon the disease, depends upon the patient and surgery done. If patient general condition is not good, the distal bowel is also not good and you have done diversion or some anastomosis is done distally, the wash is delayed for a 14 to 15 days. But ideally speaking, if in such cases, you can start after 1 week. Ideally speaking, for a last 1 month before closure, you should be giving wash. Ideally. Giving wash for a 1 or 2 time is not sufficient. Because sometimes patient will come after 6 months. So it is important 4 or 5 days or 1 week is minimum. How will you give wash, distal wash?
So by sir 16 French Foley's catheter.
How much ml of fluid will you give?
So with 1 pint of normal saline.
So drop by drop you will give with the drip or with the syringe. How will you give distal wash? Because you have to explain the patient to take this distal wash at home.
Ma'am, the tip of the lubricated tip of the Foley's catheter is introduced into the distal loop, and the IV set is connected to the outer channel of Foley's catheter, and 500
What
ml.
is pint? What is pint? You said 1 pint. What is pint? You said, I have not said anything. What is pint?
This is a
Pint.
clinical question. What do you mean by pint?
So this is again, don't do any loose talk. It can create a problem for this is not for you. You are an example. I am telling to all 25 or odd residents who are present. What is pint actually? How much fluid is 1 pint?
Sir, it is the apparatus containing IV fluids.
No, you now have beta. Pint is the amount.
Quantity. It is not the
Container જોડે કોઈ લેવા દેવા નથી.
Quantity should be, sir. Quantity is, sir, variable. 500 ml, 1 liter.
Should be nahi. You said 1 pint. How much?
One
So
pint,
is
one pint is a fixed amount. One
Fixed
pint is
amount.
fixed amount.
500 ml.
No,
No.
okay. Tell me what is આપણે જે વોર્ડમાં પાઇન્ટ હોય છે કેટલા ml નો હોય છે?
540.
Ah. It is 532 to 540 ml. So again, don't do a loose talk. તારો આખો વાયવા પાઇન્ટમાં પતી જશે. So actually pint is half liter, what we call actually 500 ml. It is not actually 500 ml, it is more than 500 ml, but we normally give wash of 1 liter minimum. And again, pint can be any number. So will you give 5% glucose?
No, sir.
So
you
what
are
will you
giving
give?
distal wash with the daily with the 5% glucose.
No, sir.
Then
કેમ ના?
Why not?
what are you doing in your ward? What are you doing in your ward? How are you giving this?
Normal saline. We are using normal saline.
So you admit the patient and give distal wash with normal saline.
Yes.
But they are giving only at the time of surgery, so it's okay. But suppose you have to give at the wash, at the home.
Sterile tap water.
તો વાંચ્યું તે મેં બી જોયું.
So it is a tap water. Huh? It is not
Yeah.
necessary to give sterile water. You can use
Why
tap
you want to give in sterile
drinking
water?
Whatever the drinking water is available, that you can use for giving the distal wash, right?
This is going intraluminal, no need to be a sterile water. So the point here, forget about everything. There are 2-3 factors you should remember. There are various methods of giving distal wash. One of them is a Foley's catheter, inflate the bulb and give the pint. A better method to give is introduce the catheter and give the wash with the help of asepto syringe. Normal saline is very costly. Every day 1 liter of normal saline is not feasible. The best way is a water. The only problem with water is if it is given in a large amount, what can be the problem? It can cause water intoxication if there is a partial stasis is there. So sometimes in some patient, if patient need to give for a very long time at home, we advise put some salt inside the water and then give the wash. That will avoid the water intoxication. Though it is rare, but it should be kept in mind. The principle is that ideally speaking, you also talked about divergent colitis. So if you give 5 days before surgery, how is it going to avoid divergent colitis? Think it over. So ideally speaking, after 7 to 10 days of stoma creation, when there is a maturation of stoma, you can start and you must start distal wash and should be continued till the closure of stoma. Otherwise, there will be disuse, divergent colitis will occur. And if you give 4-5 days only preoperatively, there may not be enough space created between the colonic mucosa. There can be a reasonable possibility that patient may have a so-called obstruction and leak chances increase by 30%. And we have seen number of times that you have done a very good closure on a 5th, 7th day, patient comes with the fecal fistula. So understand this point. Wash is a very important point as per and it should be given as long and as much as possible. It's not a 1 day, 2 day affair. If you do like that, the chances of stoma leak is very, very high. Understand this point. Examiner want this kind of answer. It should be started. You are talking of divergent colitis. So if you give wash for 2 days, divergent colitis will go away in 2 days? Never. It never happens. Most of the time, like in this patient, it is not going to create much of a problem because we are going to close within 2 months. But in most of the patient, may take 6 months. Sometime malignancy, operated for a malignancy, you are giving chemotherapy, you do closure after chemotherapy. So it may take 6 to 8 months. During that time, if you do not continue to give wash, there can be divergent colitis. Or at least if patient is at home, you should give enema also. That will also help to do that. You understand? In this patient, doing it for a week or so is fine. But the longer you keep stoma, longer you have to give the wash. It's a very important point. So, and before saying distal lupogram, always say USG abdomen. X-ray abdomen standing, and if required, pathology suggests what else you can do apart from distal lupogram in investigation.
Let's see.
Which is becoming more and more common.
CT abdomen, yeah.
So CT abdomen.
Not CT is again optional, depends upon USG, but which is becoming more common is colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy.
Understand this point.
Why?
And
What will you find out from colonoscopy? And in which patient you will select for the colonoscopy?
If there is, if patient is or patient, if the stoma is created for diversion in case of colonic malignancy.
Okay.
Getting with the patient.
So in all the patient will you do colonoscopy before closure?
If ma'am, if there is any abnormality detected in distal lupogram.
Okay. What else? If you have any doubt about obstruction in USG also, then colonoscopy is to be done, right? So most important thing for all of you is that whenever you are doing loop cologram or lupogram, distal lupogram, then whatever this Foley's catheter you are inserting, it should not be too away. Because sometimes what happens, there is a stricture nearby of your loop stoma. And so it is missed once you are passing it. And so during surgery, if this stricture is missed, then it is likely that patient may have leakage after the stoma closure. So it should not be too much away.
Yes.
The Foley's catheter should not be inserted and then do the distal lupogram. You want to see nearby of your loop because patient was having pathology because most of the time it is an enteric perforation. And so whole the ileum is inflamed. So stricture may develop in that area also, right?
In this case, you yourself have said it is 5 side. So what is the common problem with the residents? They put a Foley's catheter, let it go beyond the IC junction and then inflate the bulb and so it will not be lupogram, it will be cologram, and actual pathology site may be missed. Same thing, if the anastomosis is bypassed, the chances are that you may miss the perforation. As far as the colonoscopy is concerned, the advantage of colonoscopy are, as the madam has said 1 or 2, there are definite advantages of colonoscopy. Ideally speaking, if patient has been operated for colonic malignancy and anastomosis is done and divergent colostomy or ileostomy is done, colonoscopy is must. Why? And yes, obviously CT also. to see the same thing. There can be a recurrence at the site of anastomosis. One, there can be a stricture at the site of anastomosis, right? So and there might be another lesion which might have been missed, and before closure you want to be absolutely certain. Particularly when the previous surgery is done in emergency, the colonoscopy and CT are mandatory before closure. You should understand. So colonoscopy is a one thing which may replace in many cases a lupogram. Do you understand? But for enteric perforation and those things, it's all right. There is no anastomosis inside. There is no lesion inside. There is no need for a patient to submit to colonoscopy. From where will you do colonoscopy in those patients?
Sir, from the distal loop, sir.
So it can be done by both ways, depends upon the lesion. If lesion is quite distal, you can do per rectal also. If lesion is proximal, from that. And some prefer to do it from both sides. You should understand this point, right? So that is the important. You should always say, apart from routine investigation, you should always think of doing ultrasonography abdomen for, as we have already discussed, for residual collection, X-ray abdomen standing, distal lupogram, colonoscopy, and depends upon the disease, other investigation. Suppose for malignancy, you have to look for a chest X-ray, and those are the things you should always keep it in mind, right? So what are the method of closure?
Sir, through the, if there is loop stoma, then through the peristomal.
This is the patient. This is the patient. What will you? How will you do approach the closure?
Through peristomal skin incision, sir.
From the local site. Is there a need to do laparotomy?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, there is adequate space for the anastomosis and for closing the anterior wall in this case.
So otherwise there is no adequate space, you do laparotomy. How is it decided? We have already discussed it partially.
When
you do by laparotomy and when you do by local site. It is decided by space.
Sir, there are no complications in this case. So like adhesions, there are no complications. This is uncomplicated stoma, so that we can proceed with local site.
Don't use word uncomplicated stoma. Stoma itself is a complicated. What you want to argue is patient has no stenosis. Patient has adequate stoma output. There is no history of subacute obstruction or anything, and stoma has been created for enteric perforation. So if the lupogram is normal, I would like to do by local incision. Same way, a pathology is a different. Patient had an in-between history of subacute obstruction, and there is a history of stoma output becoming a stopping of the stoma output, or there is a history of any abnormal output, that is melena or a bleeding or similar. Or the surgery is done for some major issue where you need to look in. In those cases, you do by laparotomy. Adequate, what you wanted to say by adequate to closure, what do you mean by that? I did not understand. Apurva, madam, તમને ખબર પડી શું કહેવા માંગે છે?
Nah.
What do you mean by adequate space for anastomosis? I don't understand. What do you want to say?
So if it is nearer to the IC junction, if you want to say it is nearer to the IC junction.
That's what I understood. That's why I was asking you.
So if it is nearer the 5 centimeter from the IC junction, and then if you have any doubt that it is a continent IC junction, and if you do anastomosis, there are chances of leakage. But in that case, you have to do the quarter colectomy. right? But if you are sure that it is at least 10 centimeter away from the AC junction, you can do stoma closure.
Yes, ma'am.
बराबर दीप.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
બીજું કઈ રહ્યું સાહેબ?
I'll discuss, so we can discuss so many things. Is that how do you close the stoma? What are the methods of stoma closure? Elliptical skin incision. તારો જે word હોય ને, what answer I wanted is elliptical skin incision is put and it is reached up to peritoneally. It can be closed by two methods. One is in a loop ileostomy.
And anterior wall is suture, sir.
Two-layer closure,
Two-layer
or if required, or the vascularity is doubtful, or stenosis is there, you can do resection and anastomosis. Apurva, I think it is over time. We will, because I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to discuss so many other things. Stoma is one of my favorite topic. I wanted to discuss what is primary maturation, what is secondary maturation, and when you need to close the end stomy. That is the last question I would look to ask for. When you need to do loop and temporary stoma.
Sir,
I think Kaustubh has already clarified what is temporary and stomy.
sir, in Hartmann's procedure, sir, for
Yes.
murder,
So that is the one indication of doing laparotomy always in the presence of stoma. You would say indication of laparotomy. Any other indication is an end stomy with mucus fistula. When will you do it? We had a discussion about shortened mesentery. So in some cases, if you cannot bring out both hands at the same place because of the constraint of mesentery, you bring out them separately. In that cases, you need to do close by laparotomy. Madam, kai puchu hai? I think it should be okay now. Apurva?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
We should leave.
good.
Thank you, sir.
If
Thank you,
there is
sir.
a lot of discussion, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you.
Discuss.